Good morning. Welcome into ARC Southeast Texas at 10 o'clock. Happy to have you here on a Monday. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. We had fun Friday.
That was really fun. I was telling my husband, I was like, not that I ever wanted to get into the Sabine River, but after what we saw, there's no way.
No, yeah. So we went and did a swamp tour Friday night, and we'll kind of show you what we got to see and talk about all that stuff later on. But yeah, it was very exciting. Lots of fun. We saw lots of stuff.
Lots of alligators. Big alligators. Yeah. Ones that swim really fast.
I just get real close too.
Yeah, and they're out there, but I had no idea that there were just so many. It was like it's almost like they're like hiding, and well, I guess it really is what it is they're hiding, and then at night they're nocturnal, so they come up, and it's like you think there's a couple out there, but I was like, whew, that's like a lot.
Whole different view. Yeah, so that was fun Friday night, and then you went to the Lamar game Saturday.
Yeah, unfortunately they lost, but there was a big crowd nonetheless.
Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, of course, homecoming. So glad to see that there are folks coming out. And they're still doing so good this season. I mean, obviously they lost on Saturday, but close game, 27-20. Do you hear that?
I was like, is it raining?
Our AC has been out in the studio this morning, and it's been warm, but I just heard it come on.
I think it feels good because it's like
a miracle.
Ice in here. So,
but
yeah, fun stuff. Dogtoberfest.
I did Dogtoberfest on Saturday. Look, I'm trying to remember. My days all run together. Saturday morning, which was a lot of fun. Lots of cute dogs. And then Saturday night, I did go to the Groves Pecan Festival, and that was really cool. Great band.
Did you get to see the
giant pecan?
Yes,
I did. It was really big, actually.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to. They're inviting, or they've contacted Guinness.
World record.
Yeah. So because what is it, like 14 feet, 17 feet? It's something crazy. It's huge.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was really big. Yeah. We did the Ferris wheel, so I got to see a nice look over. I posted that on my Facebook page too, a picture of the festival and overlooking at night, which is always cool to see all the games and rides and everything. So yeah, hopefully everyone else had a good weekend as well and was able to get out and enjoy some kind of warm, but
I know it was at the game. It was pretty hot at one point, but towards the end of the game, it started feeling good. So
that's good. Yeah, and you found some shade too.
A little taste of fall. Yep,
which is always the key. So yeah, of course we'll talk more about some of those weekend activities in just a little bit. All included in some of our local news and our local headlines.
So Beaumont police investigate a deadly shooting at a convenience store. The victim's body found lying near gas pumps. How this homicide also turned into a hazmat situation.
Yeah, plus after 25 years, Kimberly Langwell finally laid to rest. Her friends and family held a funeral service over the weekend.
And a 102-year-old church gets a brand new pastor, where the jubilant festivities took place yesterday.
Yeah, so lots going on over the weekend, as we mentioned, but do want to talk first about that homicide. Still no arrest following that fatal shooting of a Beaumont man that was killed at a convenience store near gas pumps. The shooting actually did spark a hazmat spill after bullets pierced a large barrel of gasoline.
Police identified the victim as 24-year-old Gregory Carrington of Beaumont. This is a photo of Gregory provided to Fox 4. Those close to him tell us Carrigan was a good person and a great father. They're hoping for justice for Carrington, his family, and his friends.
Now, the call came in shortly after 3:15 yesterday morning. It was reporting a victim of a shooting outside the Exxon station, which was at Honey's Drive-In on Concord at Delaware. Officers provided medical help to the victim, who was lying by the gas pumps when EMS arrived. Paramedics did determine that Gregory Carrington was dead. Officer Carol Riley says police had to deal with a very large crowd and working to identify any potential victims, suspects, and witnesses. Firefighters also had to clean up a hazmat spill caused by bullets that pierced a 55-gallon barrel of gasoline. Some of the people who were at the Shack nightclub, which is across the street from the gas station, told Fox 4 they heard multiple shots fired.
Yeah, inside the Shack Club, and these girls, you know how you have a kettle or people, like
a bunch of people,
and they just push, and it's like they shooting out there, and I kind of like overlooked it, but I was in there with the DJ booth, and they was like, a guy is dead.
Now, if you have any information about the homicide, you can call Crime Stoppers at 833-TIPS. Of course, operators won't ask for your name, and you could earn a cash reward. You can also log on to 833tips.com, or you can always download the P3Tips app and submit your information from your smartphone or a tablet.
Now to the latest on an investigation into a deadly chemical leak in Deer Park. Investigators say there were problems with the emergency alert system. Deer Park emergency management officials say they experienced technical issues with the Code Red emergency notification system during the incident Thursday at the Pemex facility. It killed 2 workers, injured dozens of others, and prompted shelter-in-place orders for nearby residents. Emergency management officials say they were able to work around the technical issue and get notifications about the chemical leak out to the community. The problem has since been resolved and systems are working properly.
Well, family, friends, and the community came together to celebrate the life of 39-year-old Ebony Gilbert on Saturday. Celebration of life taking place at Dominion Church International in Orange. Those in attendance wore various shades of pink to honor Ebony Gilbert, remembered as a beautiful, independent woman who loved her family, her church, and her friends.
She's just a wonderful lady. She loved God. She was on fire for God. Everybody loved her. She was a professional lady who, went out in the community and made a life for herself and made her family proud, made her church family proud.
All 3 suspects remain in jail charged with murder. 21-year-old DeCorey Shiloh, 21-year-old Javonta Turner, and 20-year-old Tydrick Davis. According to the document, Shiloh admitted his involvement in the killing, provided details, and identified the other suspects. Ebony Gilbert's mother found her body on September 27th outside of her home on Bennett Avenue in North Beaumont. Investigators gathered evidence from the home, which included Ring camera video, which led them to the suspects.
And another woman was laid to rest after 25 years over the weekend, Kimberly Langwell. Langwell went missing in 1999. Her remains discovered in June of this year. We kept our cameras away out of respect for the family. A gathering of family and friends of Kimberly Langwell was held Saturday morning at Broussard's on North Major Drive. Langwell disappeared July 9th, 1999. She was only 34 years old. Her remains were finally discovered in June of this year. Police arrested her ex-boyfriend, Terry Rose, in June. He is still in jail, charged with murder. If convicted, Rose faces up to life in prison. Langwell's remains were discovered buried in a small space in concrete beneath a bedroom at Rose's home. Police say an informant told them Rose confided in him, revealing what he'd done.
Yeah, certainly 2 very sad stories, but glad that they finally got to lay her to rest. A long time waiting for that family. So.
Right.
Well, one of Beaumont's oldest churches installed a new pastor over the weekend. It was a joyous occasion yesterday morning at Mount Gilead Missionary Baptist Church for the pastoral installation of Reverend Kirkland Hall, a Spring, Texas native. This is as the church celebrates 102 years of service in the community, which means they've been doing it since 1922. Church officials say Reverend Hall will bring a fresh vision as he pastors the congregation into a new era.
It's so much history involved with this church. To be able to come in as a young man, my first pastorate with this rich history of the church, it's amazing. The feeling is still surreal, but it's amazing to be able to come in and serve with these amazing people at this church.
The pastoral installation brought out a large gathering of community members as well as civic officials.
Awareness in your mind. There might be some frustration in your spirit.
Also, Top Church in Beaumont hosted the Better Life Conference 2024 yesterday. The entire Golden Triangle community was invited free of charge. The conference included 4 breakout sessions focusing on insights and inspiration to live a fuller life in all aspects. The 3-day conference ended yesterday with the church anniversary celebration.
Well, a national organization made a stop in Beaumont. It says to empower young people. Certified members of the John Maxwell leadership team were at Cathedral of Faith Baptist Church over the weekend to talk about topics such as financial health, leadership, stress management, hair hygiene, and discovering strengths. The event focused on teens in grades 6 through 18 years old. The breakout sessions focused on values-based leadership and content from John Maxwell's most recent book, High Road Leadership. Maxwell is an evangelical pastor who has written many books primarily focused on leadership.
Yeah, lots going on over the weekend. Well, what's happening today? We'll talk about it during the rundown, giving you a sneak peek at one of the stories our reporters are working on.
We're going to join our Fox 4 reporter, Maya Caleb, from the newsroom. Maya, tell us what you'll be working on today.
Good morning, Jade and Macy. So the story that I'm focusing on today is about Beaumont United. So Beaumont United ended up being one of 16 finalists for $25,000 in the T-Mobile 5G competition. And now they are trying to see if they could possibly win more funding, and this will help them do some renovations to their football field and just upgrade the overall experience for players and other feeder schools that are utilizing these fields. So I'm going to be talking with some team members and a coach today, and I'll have more updates for you guys at 5, 5:30, and 6.
All right, thanks, Maya.
Should be good, yeah. If they can win that and that much money, definitely can go a long way whenever it comes to that. And we know, of course, high school football in Texas is a big one.
Big deal here in Southeast Texas for sure. So
Set you up for an exciting future too if it all works out. So we'll keep you updated on that and continue following that. Well, speaking of football, of course, over the weekend, lots of Lamar students showing their Big Red pride as homecoming week came to a close with the Boomtown Tailgate. We'll have more coming up next.
Welcome back to ARC Southeast Texas. Lamar University wrapped up homecoming week with Boomtown Tailgate. The tailgate was free and open to the public, offering all sorts of food and fun activities for the whole family. There were lawn games and rides, and of course, a lot of Big Red pride.
This is the type of thing that builds camaraderie among students, and when you build camaraderie, that's what helps students succeed in school.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, in my 4 years of being here, it's the best turnout I've seen in my life. I mean, what can I say?
After the tailgate, Lamar's football team played against Stephen F. Austin University. So we went, and there was a huge crowd. Used to, when I was in school at Lamar, the tailgate was in the, the parking lot of what used to be the Montaigne Center. Now it's the Natchez. I don't want to say the name wrong, but anyways, in the parking lot, and
was it Natchez FCU Montaigne? I don't know. It's a long name. John Kane, come on, can you help us out here? Natchez Federal Credit Union FCU.
Yeah, something like that. But so it used to be there, but then I guess some of it was still there. But then the grassy areas closer to the subway near the school, all of that, there was people everywhere. So it was a pretty big turnout.
Oh, that's good. I mean, yeah, you heard the student say, best one he's seen since he's in his 4 years there.
Yeah,
So
no, it was good.
exciting. It always helps when the team's doing good too, which they have
Mhm.
been doing so good this year. So that's always exciting to see too. That
Yeah.
brings out more folks.
And their band, oh my gosh, they
Great.
played the national anthem, and we were just like, wow, you know,
Yeah.
because typically people sing it, but the band played, and it was so good. So
Wow.
yeah, even my brother-in-law was like, dang, that was good.
Yeah.
So
Remember we heard from them last week from the band whenever we were talking about homecoming.
Mhm.
And I mean, they were great. And that was the condensed band, like not a whole lot
Yeah.
of them. So yeah, good stuff there
Yeah.
on Saturday. Well, also on Saturday, Dogtoberfest brought the bark back to downtown Beaumont. It was a fur-filled day that offered a positively fun experience for families and dogs of all breeds. There was a Strut Your Mutt parade to kick off the event. There was also games, contests, and arts and crafts, so plenty going on. And that was the big winner of all the contests.
look at
That
that.
sweet little pup who is like a little kind of like a wheelchair.
right.
She said they said she woke up one day and just couldn't use her back legs
Mhm.
anymore, and so now she had this whole basically kind of like a little wheelchair that helped her walk and everything. But she was dressed to the nines and won so many contests. I helped MC the event, so I was there on
Mhm.
Saturday and had a good time. And oh my gosh, there was one puppy. I was like, "Do not take this home, Macy. This is not a good idea. Not now. I've got a lot going
Not
on. I
now."
can't." Yeah, but yeah, very cute.
You see every year, I'm like, I want to bring my dog, but I have one of those dogs. Let's just say he's really bad.
Oh,
And he will, and he just, I don't know, he's really bad. So I feel like he would embarrass me. So
Yeah.
I'm like, one time I did bring him to an event
Mhm.
and he just slipped out of his
Oh.
collar and started taking off. And everyone was like, whose dog is that? This was at my sorority's event
yeah.
a few years back.
You're like,
And I was like, I'm not worried about him because he wasn't going to go anywhere. As soon as he
Right.
sees a person, he stops. But it's just anyways, he's my embarrassing child. So
I was holding on to a couple like leashes for someone as they were doing like contests, and I'm holding on to the dog. And the dog's like going and slipped out of the collar, and I'm like,
right.
"This is not my dog. Like, what do I do?"
Yeah.
Someone was able to catch him.
Yep,
though,
that'd
so
be
it's
my
all good.
dog.
Yeah.
But also in downtown Beaumont Saturday, kids got to get up close and personal with big trucks. The Beaumont Children's Museum hosting the 13th annual Touch a Truck and Steam Fair. The kids got to climb through and touch all the buttons inside fire trucks, construction equipment, including a crane. But that wasn't all. Steam gave the kids a chance to also explore what they might be interested in doing when they grow up.
Which is always cool to kind of get to see. Maybe
It's always a
one
really big event.
firefighter or something like that. We heard the helicopter fly over as it landed there too. So police officer, yeah, you see cranes, you name it, they had it.
And they also had their quiet hour. So, it was pretty loud and, with all the button pressing.
Oh,
But they
yeah.
had their quiet hour for the other kids, that kids or parents who may have needed that.
bit of a
so.
sensory overload. That's
Mhm.
our photographer, Jesus Lopez.
Oh, yeah. Look
Our
at
chief
him.
photographer. He took his niece there over the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of fun. I like that they do that too, because that's the number one things those kids want to do when they get in there is just lay on the
Yeah.
horn.
Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't blame them. I drove a school bus in like an 18-wheeler like recently, and that was the first thing I did was pull the horn on an 18-wheeler. You have to. That's
Or like growing up and when you would, the band, football team, cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Were you a cheerleader?
No. Like when I was little, yeah. But
Oh, okay. Well, in
Not
high
in
school,
high
we would be going to an away game and we would pass an 18-wheeler and everyone's like,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like,
exactly.
do it, your horn. So it's the whole thing. So
exactly. I had to do
I
it.
can only imagine that's the first thing kids want to do. And so they get that
Mhm.
chance. So it's a pretty good event every
It's
year.
a lot of fun. So, well, still to come this morning, talking about some noise, making some music. The band Melon Jelly will be joining us after the break.
Testing. 10-4.
All right, welcome back into ARG Southeast Texas. We have moved outside because it's time to hear a little tunes. We've got the band Melon Jelly here with us this morning. Welcome back. I already saw you guys at 8
Yeah.
and they were great, gave us a little performance. And
The Angel looks very different.
I know, yeah,
Just a little different.
He does a little quick change and his hair grows a little, just a little bit different. But yeah, happy to have you guys back again because they did so great. And also we're here to talk about really just, a huge accomplishment. Before we get to that, I want you guys again to just introduce yourselves and kind of tell us what you do, what you play, and being a part of the band.
Well, this is Steven Droughty. We call him Big Tiny. He's our drummer extraordinaire and keeps us grooving and funky. This is Jason McCullum, our bass player, affectionately known as Funky Fingers. And I'm Mark. I play guitar and sing, if you call it that. So.
Now, how come you don't have a nickname?
Well, a lot of people call me Nessie.
Okay.
Okay.
Growing up, my nickname was Bean, but that wasn't cool enough. But
Bean.
students started calling me Nessie a while back at some point, so probably because they thought I was a monster. But
I'm curious to know where your band's name came from. How did you come up with that?
Yeah.
it's funny. I grew up and I loved the show Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
With Red Fox, and Sanford had a favorite blues musician that was blind. And he was saying Mellow Jelly, but I always thought it was Melon Jelly. It wasn't until after I came up with the name for a band that I realized that's not even what he was saying.
Right.
But we just kept it anyway because I thought it was
Good deal.
kind of cool.
My imagination ran wild with that one. I was like, this could come from anything. So,
Now, if you look at Melon Jelly, there's all kinds of recipes about it and people making watermelon jelly and stuff. So.
That's what I figured.
What are those things, those jelly cats or whatever they are, the little stuffed animal? Yeah, I don't know. There's tons. So.
We take credit for all that.
Yeah.
Take
it all. All coming from them. And you guys have obviously a local band, and you guys been doing this together for 3 years? You said?
Yeah, about 3 years.
Yeah.
In this arrangement, I kind of gelled about 3 years ago when we
Yeah.
got Jason.
Yeah. But of course, the big news, why we got you guys here today is that you won a really big challenge, the Houston Blues Challenge for 2024,
Houston
which
2024.
there were lots of bands in there.
Yeah, they do a couple of preliminary rounds of competition, and then 2 from each preliminary round went to the finals. 4 of us were in the finals.
Yeah.
It's hosted by the Houston Blues Society every year as an affiliate of the Blues Foundation. And as the winners, we get to go compete in Memphis at the International Blues Challenge with bands from all around the world. I mean, a couple of years ago, one of the winners was from Australia.
Wow.
And they got
cool.
about 150 bands come from all around the world for that event. It's all up and down Bill Street. Kind of takes over Bill Street for a week.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
neat.
incredible. Yeah. And that's in January that you guys are going, right?
January 7th to 11th is when we'll be in Memphis.
But before that, of course, kind of want to help with some fundraising. You guys are going to be
Mhm.
doing plenty of performances if people are interested in coming to
Sure,
play.
absolutely. We play, actually this week we play at the Grill. There was a big sign in the green room
Yeah.
for the Grill, right? Big plug for the Grill. Saturday at the Texas Rose with the band running on credit. We're doing kind of a co-bill there. But the big one is November 1st out at Seven Oaks Event Center, Event Garden. Excuse me, Courtney will have me if she hears me say Event Center. Event Garden in LaBelle. Beautiful, beautiful place. Started as a little listening room in her living room years ago, and they've just expanded and become just easily one of the best places to find live music anywhere. So we're doing kind of a CD release. I just released a solo CD, which is also going to Memphis, was just picked as the best self-produced CD for the Houston area. So it's going to the International Blues Challenge as a CD. So the first half will be stuff from my solo CD, and the second half will be Melon Jelly.
Yeah.
So kind of a double bill for that, November 1st. And then we'll getting ready to go. So
Yeah.
I think December we open for Shamika Copeland in Houston, living blues legend now, at the big holiday bash for the Houston Blues Society. So a whole lot of stuff on the horizon.
Lots of stuff too. And so if folks are interested in finding more, melonjelly.com.
Melonjellyband.com. Melon Jelly, I think, was taken by somebody making jelly. So.
Makes sense.
Melonjellyband.com. We're all over Facebook and Instagram, and you can find us on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
And you name it, we're out there.
Okay, well, I'm sure the folks
You'd be
now are
sick
like,
of hearing about us.
Yeah, they want to hear from
never.
you.
I was gonna say now they want to hear from you. Like we've heard enough talking. We'll let you guys play a little something for us.
This is a song called Blues When I Wake Up. It's all about missing my beautiful wife when I'm not home. Well, I got blues when I wake I got blues when I lay down at night. Blues when the sun is shining. Now I got blues when I turn out the lights. I need me a good-hearted woman, love and treat me right. When I get back home in Texas, I'm gonna fall down on my knees. I thank the Lord above for mercy. I swear I ain't never gonna leave. I got me a good gal down there, sweetest woman I ever seen. But it's been a month of Sundays since I see my baby smile. Been so lost since she kissed me. Lord, it's been such a long, long while. Won't be no more sunshine, no, it's just blowing.
Boy, they were great, weren't they?
They were. You know, when they were playing at 8 o'clock, I was in the newsroom and I was like, wow, this is like being in a coffee shop right now. Kind of addicted.
I could feel that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
so-
good.
They were great.
Yeah, check them out online, melonjellyband.com. So there you go. We saw the Open for the first time in a long time. Hardin Jefferson Hawks are 500 or better on the year, despite their district loss to Bridge City last week. Kirsten Lindquist sat down with Zach Bass to talk about what makes this Hawks squad so tough.
Hey, welcome into the After Party, the weekly coaches show following Friday night tailgate party. This week, I'm joined with Hardin Jefferson's own Zach Bass. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank y'all so much for having us.
Yeah. So I know when we spoke at Two-A-Days, you said there's definitely an improved product, and we've really seen the growth kind of on screen here, you know, during our shows, just in the last few games that we've been to. I know 2020, if you can believe it, was the last time that the Hawks had at least one district win under their belt.
Right.
What's kind of flipped the switch for your guys?
I think they're bought in. You know, one thing for sure I think is different than previous year's teams, at least since I've been at HJ, it's a group of kids that love to play for each other. And I think if you know the guy on your right or your left is playing hard for you, it's going to make you play that much harder for them. They enjoy being around each other. They hang out together outside of school, outside of practice, outside of games. And they're just overall really fun group to coach.
Yeah. In the district games that you guys have played so far, what have your guys learned?
The importance of overcoming adversity. I think we did a really good job of that versus Livingston. I think we struggled with it a little versus a really good LCM team. You know, there's ebbs and flows to a game, highs and lows, if you will. Against Livingston, we did a really good job overcoming a couple of mistakes early. And overall in this district, you have to be on every week if you want to have a chance to compete and win. So, each opponent presents a new opportunity each week.
I was going to say, I know you have 20 seniors on that squad. And I know, again, when the last time you and I spoke, you said that those guys deserve to have some success. Now that you've gotten some wins under your belt, what's kind of been the energy like in the locker room?
I think the energy's been high. It's been up. I think we're happy that the fact that we have 3 wins this year after not winning a game in 23, and getting a district win for the first time in a while is also really, really good. We're happy with it, but we're not satisfied with it. Each week we have 2 types of goals. We have our short-term goal, which is defeat the opponent for that week, and then the long-term goal, which is make the playoffs. And you have to stack district wins up in order to be able to do that, but you have to do it kind of on a week-by-week basis and not get ahead of your skis. And so the energy's been good. We're going to recalibrate, refocus heading into next week. And like I said, we're healthy for the most part, and we're looking forward for, like I said, some competition.
Yeah, obviously you're looking to carry some of that early success that we've seen from your guys. How much of that is a confidence booster for this team? Because like you said, having some wins under your belt, for the first time in a bit, how much of a confidence booster is that for your guys?
Well, it's an absolute confidence booster. I think there's different phases when you're rebuilding a team. I think there's the hope, the team that hopes to win. And then, maybe a few things go your way and it happens. And then you get to a phase where you believe you can win. And I think that's where we are right now. And we're trying to get to that next phase, which is where you expect to win on a week in and week basis or a week out basis. And so we're in that believe we can win phase. I think when we step on the field, regardless of the opponent, our kids believe that they can win. And we got to keep working and keep improving so that we get to the point where we expect to win.
District play, there's obviously no handouts. You got to earn it each and every week. And I think that you have really emphasized that to your guys, I think, going into the season. With that, you also changed districts.
Right.
Realignment, bringing in some familiar foes like Bridge City, like you mentioned,
Yes.
and kind of renewing some old rivalries and maybe some of the teams that you guys play in some other sports. What do the Hawks need to do to kind of continue to be successful in this district?
We got to play clean, which is no pre-snap penalties and taking care of the football. Offensively, we need to finish drives on a more consistent basis. And then defensively, we got to get off the field on third down. And I think if you can do that consistently, game in and game out, you're going to be in a position to win. Doesn't mean it's going to be handed to you. No one's going to give it to you. You have to take it. You have to earn it because every opponent in our district is a worthy opponent. And so I think if you can take care of those things and, to be cliche, play in all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, and do it in a consistent and fair way, you're going to have an opportunity to succeed.
Well, best of luck to you. We'll, of course, be tuning in or all the action at your game and, of course, all the games around Southeast Texas. And be sure to catch it on Friday Night Tailgate Party after the late night news at 10:35.
Okay, got some good news for them. Glad to see that they're having some success there. Well, so to come this morning, one teen is raising money and awareness for an extremely rare disease.
high schooler in Rhode Island raises money for and awareness about an especially deadly type of cancer. It's her senior graduation project, and for her, it's personal. She told medical reporter Barbara Morse she was inspired by a family member she never even met.
My Mimi, my mom's mom, passed away from ovarian cancer before I was born.
17-year-old Jana Creighton is talking about the grandmother she was named after.
When my mother was diagnosed, she thought her back hurt from carrying around my niece's car seat.
Turned out she had ovarian cancer. It's called the silent killer because by the time you have symptoms, it's often advanced and has spread.
We saw my mother suffer tremendously with that disease.
Janice Mendoza lost that battle in 2002 at the age of 53, a few years before her granddaughter and namesake was born. Janice says there never was a question she would do her senior project on this horrible disease.
I started it in August.
Getting t-shirts made, planning a bowl-a-thon to take place in September, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
I had my Strikeout Ovarian Cancer fundraiser, which went so well. We raised $2,309, and it was really close to home for me because my Mimi, she used to bowl, and that's why that idea came along.
All money donated to fund research and support.
For my research project portion of the actual project, I am looking more into the genetic screening of it.
That's because, as she is learning, ovarian cancer can run in families. She plans on finding out if she is genetically predisposed.
It means so much. My mother was like the matriarch of the family, and just knowing that by doing this also it's keeping her alive as well.
Ovarian cancer is insidious. The symptoms rather vague, things like bloating and abdominal discomfort, a sudden and frequent urge to urinate. We tend to dismiss them, but we know when something isn't right, so get it checked out. I'm medical reporter Barbara Morse.
Well, if you are headed out to get your Halloween pumpkin, you may want to pick up more than one. Medical reporter Les Bonus shares why pumpkin is one of the healthiest foods you can eat.
Hey there, hello to you. There is nothing better right now than picking your own pumpkin on a perfect fall day. But what you might not realize is that these are also packing a powerful punch when it comes to helping you stay well.
Oh. That's the one you want to do, pal?
Scarlett and Ruthie came out today to pick the perfect pumpkin.
We look for mostly the size that they can carry so that I don't have to carry everything.
At just 3 and 5 years old, their mom, Caitlin Gunther, says that's no easy task here at Kentucky's McGlasson Farms. Luke McGlasson's family owns this farm. So from someone who knows pumpkins, is there something that you should or shouldn't look for?
I mean, depending on your taste, you might you want one that's ripe, fully orange. But like some people like the partially green ones.
Luke says fairy tale pumpkins are the best for eating.
They've got the darkest like interior color.
And the darker the orange color, the more beta carotene, a powerful antioxidant which protects the body from cell injury. So quick question, have you picked out your pumpkin yet?
Oh, no, not yet.
Lindsay Yeager Autry and her daughter Lily said they look for the big round pumpkins.
Lily's actually designed some pumpkin tarts that she's been working on with her school.
Those pumpkins are called jack-o'-lantern pumpkins.
The jack-o'-lantern pumpkins have tons of seeds.
And aside from the color, the seeds in a pumpkin contain some of the second most powerful pumpkin nutrients. They're linked to apoptosis, which kills cells linked to diseases such as cancer. Finally, while many such as Laura say picking the perfect pumpkin is as simple as
kind of just, it says, yeah, pick me so you can carve me, make me look pretty.
Pick up more than one for baking if you wish. Turns out the other healthy things about, believe it or not, pumpkin pie are the spices we often use with pumpkin. Cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and ginger, linked to everything from lower blood pressure to immune boosting. Now, keep in mind, the pie still averages up to about 400 calories a slice, so you still have to consider that for weight purposes and how much you want to eat of it. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
See, Liz, the part about it being 400 calories per slice is the part I didn't need to know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, pumpkin pie is one of my favorites during
Calories don't count during holidays.
That's so true. You got a good point. Holidays and vacation. Calories
which is like a lot of my year, so
they're non-existent though. So it's okay. which I do like.
Belt says otherwise.
I do combined of like, I guess I get knocked out once with like Thanksgiving as we also go on vacation.
Yeah.
So then it's like we go for a week. By the end of the week, it's like nothing that I've packed is really fitting all that well. Like it's, unlimited food. So it's, it gets a little dangerous there. But yeah, there's some good information. Pumpkin's still healthy. So we'll stick around this morning though. We'll show you a house with an amazing Halloween display. Very spooky. Ooh.
Welcome back to ARC Southeast Texas. Breaking news coming into our newsroom this morning. Beaumont police now have a murder warrant for the arrest of a suspect in a shooting death outside Honey's Drive-In on Concord at Delaware.
And police are searching for Andre Williams, who's 23. That's in the killing of 24-year-old Gregory Carrington. Of course, if you have any information that can help Beaumont police find Williams, you are asked to call the Beaumont Police Department. That number is 409-832-1234, or as always, you can always call Crime Stoppers 833-TIPS. You can remain anonymous and may be eligible for a cash reward. And again, that shooting happened just yesterday morning around 3:14 on Sunday at that gas station near Delaware and Concord. So we'll have more information for you coming up at News at Noon over on KFDM. But wanted to get you that breaking news as quick as we could. And as always, you can stay up to date on fox4beaumont.com as well as our social media pages. So. And switching gears now, a high school reunion in Wisconsin nailed it. It was a Halloween display honoring the Skullview High class of 1984.
The creator says he was inspired by his own 40th reunion this year. James Groh has the story.
It's that time where I get to cover one of my favorite stories I do every year. But first, I gotta ask, does this party seem dead to you, or is it just me? The Holy Hill Skeleton Display is back for its 25th year, and it's better than ever.
This year, Jimmy Zamzo went with the theme Skullview High's 40th class reunion. It was inspired by his own 40th high school reunion this year. He graduated in 1984 from Waukesha North. The school actually gave him old jerseys, band uniforms, t-shirts, and more to dress up the skeletons. But despite all those clothes,
clearly there was no dress code because they're revealing it all down to their bare bones.
One classmate from California out here, I had another classmate from Colorado out here. They all love it.
After 40 years, old friends were just dying to catch up.
Some of the scenes resemble photos from Jimmy's yearbook, like Joel on the parallel bars or Steve holding the state football championship trophy over his head. He also included the prom king and queen, Kurt and June.
I thought, what better way to celebrate, Waukesha North?
The display is on the road to Holy Hill Basilica, about 2 miles before the church. He changes the theme every Halloween. Other themes were a Tour de Skull, Till Death Do Us Part, and Surfin' USA.
So I was doing some research on the class of '84 for this story, and I found out that they had really high biology scores. They all aced the skeletal system.
The reunion even had classmates rekindling old flames. The cheerleaders were really kicking it on stage. Or have they already kicked it? And given this display, it's no surprise Jimmy has a lot of skeletons in his closet.
I think I'm over 300 now.
While his design changes every year, 2 things remain the same. He always incorporates a skeleton Donald Driver, and then there's the Rainbow Bridge, which honors pets who have passed away.
You just see the kids just love the different animals and stuff like that, so I kept doing that. And then I had other people reach out to me asking if they could put pictures of their pets that they lost on the bridge.
The reunion was a bona fide success. You can check out this display through the first week of November. In Hubertus, James Groh, TMJ4 News.
Okay, I love the alligators.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Be fitting for around here.
We need help. If you're watching,
we need a lot
of help, but we need help. We would like to see something like this in Southeast Texas. If you know anybody or yourself, send us a picture, send us an email, call us, something. We would love to go out and see it.
Yeah.
Because we're all about spooky stuff here and competitions. And we wanna go through haunted houses. So
yeah, we do actually want to do that. That would be a lot of fun. So let us know. We'd love to go check it out. And staying on the topic of Halloween, spending for Halloween is actually expected to reach $11.6 billion in the U.S. this year. Yeah, quite a lot. That's according to a National Retail Federation survey. So last year, a record-setting $12.2 billion was spent for Halloween. The primary drivers of Halloween spending are, no shocker, candy, decorations, and costumes. Consumers are expected to spend an average of about $103.63 per person. This year, many big box retailers are getting into the spooky season earlier than ever before, with some that started selling Halloween merchandise as early as June.
I feel like the station here, we are a lot of the reason for why that number is so high, because we've got several contests going on. So we've got a costume contest, we have a desk contest, which there is a clear and obvious winner, and everyone, including myself, should just give up.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if we really need to wait until October 31st to find the winner, because one of our web team, Zoe, she went above and beyond, and it's not even just her desk, it's the entire newsroom. She's doing a crime scene whodunit type deal.
Everyone here's a suspect,
where we're all suspects. She printed out pictures, mugshots of everyone as a suspect. There's blood spatter.
One is on her desk.
Yeah, I have a bloody fingerprint on my desk with a crime scene marker, evidence marker on my desk. So
I guess we'll see. I wonder if she's going to reveal who
done it.
Yeah, who done it.
Who the killer was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the victim was our boss.
Yeah. Whoops.
R.I.P.
But she even printed that out, so it's really cool. But
she's gotten into it.
Yeah. So there's there's several of us that have lots of candy on our desk. So not the little cheap candy. My husband was like, I really want the Ghost Toast Kit Kat. So I got that. And then Angel has his little candy jar that cannot. People have been raiding that candy jar.
I know. He's been keeping it full though. Hey, she did make cookies. She made cookies and brought them today, and they were delicious. So thank you for that little treat.
It's been all morning, so
slaving away. Just working so hard. So we got a little sweet treat this morning. And after the break, we'll have another little treat. We'll check in with Katrina Adger to see what's coming up for News at Noon. take a look inside the newsroom and talk with KFDM's noon anchor, Patrina Adger.
Patrina, tell us what we can expect for your show today.
Hey ladies, happy Monday. Yeah, we've got a lot of stories that we're working on this Monday morning into the afternoon. BPD just sent this. They are looking for this man. They issued a murder warrant for 23-year-old Andre Williams II of Beaumont after the death of 24-year-old Gregory Carrington over the weekend. Carrington was killed outside of a Honey Drive-In at the Exxon there early Sunday morning. So we're going to have the latest on that information. And then this here, did you see this? There were some cars in the Houston area that caught fire after one car exploded. So 20 cars caught fire. We'll show you that dramatic video. And then we'll take you to Florida, where folks are still recovering from Hurricane Milton. And then for our interview, we talked to Adult Protective Services about an event that they're having on Wednesday. It's about Money Matters, and it's how seniors can protect themselves from being victims of scams. So all of that is coming up on the news at noon on KFDM Channel 6. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Patrina. Important stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, stick with us. We got our question of the day coming up next. Well, time now for our question of the day. We wanted to ask you if you followed our ARC Southeast Texas Facebook page.
104, so a little bit more than what we're showing here, have already followed us, and we would love if you did. So you can scan the QR code. You can, with your phone, your camera, you can zoom in. You don't even have to get up. You can zoom in, and you can scan that code. You can follow our page. All of our content's going to be there. Anything that you need to know, you want to keep up with, you can send us a message. You can send us an email. Everything you know is on that Facebook page. But we thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again tomorrow.